Engineered consent. How Western psychological operations units target their own citizens. Introduction. In democratic nations, where transparency and accountability are expected pillars of governance, a darker reality often lies beneath the surface. Psychological operations, once tools of war used against foreign adversaries, are now increasingly being repurposed for domestic influence. This report investigates how elite Western psychological operations units from the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Israel use advanced information warfare techniques to target civilian populations through media manipulation, social engineering, and digital deception. These operations are not only clandestine, but are ironically funded by the very taxpayers they are designed to manipulate. The units and their mandates. United Kingdom. 𝗧𝗿𝗱𝗏𝗏, Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group. 𝗧𝗿𝗱𝗏, a division within GCHQ, specializes in disruption operations. It conducts cyber influence campaigns designed to discredit individuals, manipulate online discourse, and fabricate consensus. 𝗧𝗿𝗱𝗏 doesn't merely observe social media, it shapes it, often by creating false personas, hijacking forums, and planting false narratives. While its official mandate is foreign, leaked documents have shown its involvement in domestic targeting, especially against political activists and dissenters. United States. The 4th Psychological Operations Group and Cyber Command. The U.S. Army's 4th Psychological Operations Group, in coordination with Cyber Command, crafts influence products including memes, viral videos, and covert media operations aimed at behavioral change. With vast budgets and advanced AI tools, these units analyze population sentiment and deploy tailored information to provoke or suppress public reactions. Although framed as tools against foreign threats, the capabilities are often tested or deployed within the U.S. information space, especially during protests, elections, and national crises. Canada. Canadian Joint Operations Command 𝗍𝗏𝗏 and Influence Activities Task Force. Canada's psychological operations capabilities, once limited to foreign theaters, expanded during recent crises under the 𝗍𝗏𝗏. Using military-grade behavioral science, Canadian psychological operations units crafted domestic narratives during the COVID-19 pandemic. These included fake media releases and manipulative public health messaging. The operations were sometimes conducted without civilian oversight, reflecting an increasing willingness to test influence techniques on the home front. Australia. The 1st Intelligence Battalion. Australia's 1st Intelligence Battalion integrates psychological operations with signals and cyber intelligence. While officially focused on external threats, its capability to monitor and manipulate online communities within Australia is well established. With partnerships in the Five Eyes and Israel network, Australia's domestic digital environment is not immune to data harvesting and influence modeling by its own intelligence apparatus. New Zealand. NZDF Psychological Operations Element. New Zealand maintains a small, but technically capable psychological operations unit within its defense forces. The techniques mirror those of its allies, the creation of fake social media accounts, simulated consensus in online forums, and sentiment manipulation. Though small in scale, the operations demonstrate the same strategic direction, controlling the informational environment, whether foreign or domestic. Israel. Unit 8200 and Unit 504. Unit 8200. Israel's Elite Signals Intelligence Group, and Unit 504, responsible for psychological operations, operate globally with unmatched technological sophistication. They specialize in data exploitation, blackmail via personal information, and psychological manipulation campaigns. These units use metadata and social media activity to construct psychological profiles of targets, including dissidents, political figures, and social influencers, both abroad and at home. Methods of modern psychological warfare. The modern psychological operations arsenal rooted not in loudspeakers or leaflets, but in algorithmic manipulation and information saturation. Common methods include social media disinformation, coordinated inauthentic behavior, fake accounts, and botnets amplify certain narratives, distort others, and simulate grassroots consensus, a tactic known as astroturfing. Persona fabrication. Entire digital identities are created to infiltrate communities, pose as thought leaders, or inject polarizing ideas into public discourse. Echo chamber engineering. By exploiting platform algorithms, psychological operations units ensure specific demographics are repeatedly exposed to tailored narratives that reinforce desired beliefs or behaviors. Mimetic warfare. Humorous or emotionally charged images are crafted to bypass rational scrutiny and provoke instant emotional alignment, increasing shareability and psychological imprint. Black propaganda. False information is attributed to trusted sources or allies to erode trust, cause confusion, or provoke conflict between groups. Cyber psychological profiling. AI and machine learning tools analyze user behavior, browsing history, and social media interactions to create predictive psychological models used to target individuals with maximum influence efficiency, who they target. Though these units were created to target foreign adversaries, the line has become increasingly blurred. Today, the average citizen is a viable target. Those particularly vulnerable include political dissidents and activists, framed as destabilizing agents or threats to national unity. Online influencers, monitored and, at times, co-opted or discredited. Protest movements, disrupted through confusion, division, and emotional fatigue. Marginalist groups, exploited via tailored narratives designed to fragment coalitions or stir internal division. General public, nudged toward desired behaviors during elections, pandemics, or periods of social unrest. The irony, you're paying for it. Every psychological operation campaign waged on civilian populations is funded by the citizens it manipulates. These are not rogue operations. They are budgeted, sanctioned, and executed by state apparatus using public tax money. Budgets for psychological units are embedded within defense and intelligence spending, often hidden from public scrutiny. Public-private partnerships with tech firms mean data collected from social platforms, often volunteered freely, is weaponized in reverse. Training and simulation exercises for domestic psychological operations are sometimes disguised as research or counter-terrorism drills, masking their true intent. The public is thus caught in a feedback loop. Citizens fund the state. The state funds psychological manipulation programs, and these programs manipulate public behavior to ensure continued public compliance and funding. Conclusion. What began as a battlefield tool has been quietly adapted into a method of domestic control. Psychological operations, cyber influence, and mimetic manipulation are now as likely to target a suburban voter as they are a foreign insurgent. Governments increasingly view the information space as a battlefield, and the minds of their citizens as territory to be secured, shaped, and, if necessary, deceived. In an era where consent is manufactured, where digital environments are sculpted by unseen hands, and where belief itself can be engineered, the question is no longer whether we are being manipulated, but whether we can even recognize it. And worse, whether we are funding the erosion of our own free thought.